Okay, here are the notes for 7-5. What we're going to have here are three different theorems here, but they're all kind of just ends up being just cross multiplication, proportion type problems. Just a little bit of a hodgepodge of different theorems here. This first one is called the triangle side splitter theorem. It's basically you've got this big triangle here. If you draw a line parallel to one of the sides, so if you draw a line parallel to it, it will split this big triangle proportionally. It divides the sides proportionally. So what you would have here is, I'm just going to throw out some numbers here. I'll put a 3, I'll put a 5 here, I'll put an X, and I'll put a, maybe that's a 5.5. Well, this parallel line splits it proportionally so that you could say 3 over 5 is in the same proportion as X over 5.5. And what you'll notice here, and I'll say this a lot, is the left to left, right to right. Okay, that's what we call a triangle side splitter, where a line is parallel to another side of the triangle, splitting it proportionally. This next one is a triangle angle bisector. So you've got this big triangle here. You've got coming down the middle here is an angle bisector. And what it does is going to split this figure proportionally. And again, I'm going to say left is to left as right is to right. Let's put, just putting out some numbers here, 7 to 4, X to 8. This is going to be left to left, right to right. Left to left, right to right. And it just splits it in such a way that things are proportional. If it's an angle bisector. If it is parallel to, makes parallel to the third side. Things get split proportionally. This next one here is a corollary to 7-4 here. This is a bunch of parallel lines. They don't necessarily meet like a triangle, but if you notice, I mean, if I keep extending these lines, you would have a triangle. But basically, parallel lines split these two transversals proportionally. Left to left, right to right. A over B is the same as C over D. A over B is equal to C over D. Left to left, right to right. Okay? Let's see these in action here. So, this first one here is what we would call a triangle side splitter, where here's the big triangle. There's a line that's parallel to the third side here. And the reason why I know it's parallel is because these corresponding angles are equal. And when your corresponding angles are equal, you make the lines parallel. And then we're going to solve for X. We're going to say left to left, right to right. X plus 1.5 over X is equal to 5 over 2.5. This line splits the big triangle proportionally. It could have been way at the top. It would still split it proportionally. It could be right smack in the middle or even 2/3 of the way down. Doesn't really matter. Things get split proportionally. Cross multiply this, 2.5 times X plus 1.5. Again, these two are cross multiplied. This is 5X. This is 2.5X. Don't need a calculator here. 2.5 times 1.5 is 3.75 is equal to 5X. 3.75 is equal to 2.5 when I minus the X's over. And 3.75 divided by 2.5 is 1.5 for X. So X is 1.5. Okay. Here is the one about the parallel line. The next ones here, we've got parallel lines going up. We're going to solve for X. We could solve for Y, but let's just solve for X. We'll skip the Y part. So I'm not going to focus in on this part here. We're just going to say left to left, right to right. If I rotate this paper, I'm just going to focus on left to left, right to right. So I'm going to say X to 30 is 15 to 26. Cross multiply that and solve. 26X is equal to 30 times 15, 450. Divide by 26. And it looks like an ugly number, 17.3. Okay? Left to left, right to right. Now, if you wanted to do for Y, you would go left to left, right to right. Everything is getting split proportionally. Finally, we have an angle bisector. Here's the big triangle, and this line splits it proportionately. This is an angle bisector. You could tell by this tick mark here, and I don't know why it says solve for X, because there is no X in this picture. but we're just going to say left to left, right to right. All right, so I'm just going to say 5 to 3.6 is 8 to y. If I rotate this, you can go 8 to y, 5 to 3.6. Cross multiply this. This is 5y is equal to 3.6 times 8. 28.8 divided by 5. Y is equal to 5.76. All right. So if you have an angle bisector, things get split proportionately. 5.76 here. If you have a parallel line to the third line, this triangle gets split proportionally. Just set up a proportion, cross multiply, and solve.